Okay, I'm in my spot. It's a little cold to be outside, but I needed to do this. I've noticed for the past several weeks and months, since we've been in the middle of everything that's been going on, that this has become even more important to me than ever before. To spend some time in Scripture, to spend some time in the presence of God, just to kind of recenter, to align my spirit and my heart and my mind with God. And I hope you're doing the same thing. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know if you can get off by yourself. But I want to encourage you, don't let this slack. Worship is important. It's important that we get together corporately. But this is essential. And I hope you're doing it. I want to bring another new word to you today, or at least a phrase. 3 weeks ago, I talked about dislocation, that feeling of being either in a new situation or new place and just disorientation. Like I can't figure out how I'm supposed to be in this spot. 2 weeks ago, I introduced you to the phrase liminal space, that space between. I used the crosswalk of where I'm in between where I was and then not yet. And several people came to me. I had great conversation because they said, when you talked about liminal space, it sounded like it was supposed to be like just for a short period of time. And this is lasting forever. And so, just diving into the scripture real quick, all the cases of liminal space, that in-between space, lasted a long time. The Israelites leaving Egypt and before they got into the promised land lasted 40 years. That scripture in Jeremiah that we love, it's on our coffee mugs, it's on bookmarks. I know the plans I have for you to prosper. If you read the whole passage, that's supposed to take. Well, first of all, it's an individual. I mean, it's not an individual promise. It's a promise between a covenant relationship between God and the nation of Israel. But also, there was going to be 70 years of exile before that promise was put into place. And then the passage I'm reading for Sunday that predicts the coming of the Messiah, of the one who will save us, was written 700 years before Jesus was born. So we understand that liminal space lasts a long time. Today I want to introduce you to another phrase, and it's emotional granularity. How's that one? Anyways, emotional granularity is a new word or new understanding of the need to have words that describe what it is we're feeling. Like I have all these things going on inside of me. It's anxiety, it's unsettledness, but those don't seem to capture what I'm really feeling. And emotional granularity is not only finding words, but gaining understanding to what I'm experiencing and what I'm feeling. And it's your brain trying to figure out how I'm supposed to be in this really difficult situation. Your brain does primarily two things. One is it sends resources to the different aspects of your body. Last week, Thanksgiving, if you ate a lot, your brain was going, okay, you need to sit on the couch and watch the Lions lose because we need to process all this food. And so whatever situation that you're in, your brain is sending resources to different parts of your body to help you in that situation. The second thing that your brain tries to do is to predict. Like, what is going to happen? What do I need to do in order to be ready for that? At last Thanksgiving, gathering with a little bit of family, we were throwing the football around because that's what you do on Thanksgiving. And the couple of times that I didn't get close, which was a lot of times, to the person I was throwing the football to, I would throw it and I would watch them run or move to try to get to the football. And I knew there was a lot of hardcore calculations going on in the brain at the same time. The speed of the ball, the spiral, the wind, the ground, all these things they were trying to factor in to try to get to that football to predict where it was going to be to where they could catch it. So your brain not only tries to predict those kind of things, but it tries to predict what's happening in the moment and how you should adapt or adjust to it. And part of this understanding of emotional granularity is things just don't happen in your brain. You program your brain to handle whatever it is that you're in. So when we're in this difficult time where things are uncertain and unsettled, we're in the liminal space, we feel this dislocation, we have the power to program our brain to handle it in a very specific way. You can either choose to program yourself with unhealthy content or with healthy content. And I think this is why Paul said in Philippians, and I've used this passage several times in the past few months, Philippians 4:8, is whatever is noble, whatever is praiseworthy, whatever is true. There's this whole list. Think about these things. Because Paul knew they were going through a really difficult time. They were dealing with a lot of unpredictable circumstances that they couldn't control. But they could program their mind to not be victims to what was happening to them, but to actually exercise some control and predict how they would handle what they were going through. So let me encourage you to develop this emotional granularity, to put some words around what you're experiencing and to program your mind with content, scripture, that will give you a much healthier foundation to stand on in these difficult times. Whatever is true, whatever is praiseworthy, whatever is noble, think about those things. So let me encourage you to take some control over what your mind does and where it goes, and to think about those things. So we will be in person on Sunday. We'll be still in the middle of Advent. We hope that you join us. If you haven't brought your gift yet, that you got a tag, please bring your gifts this Sunday so we can make sure that we can process it and get it out to the children. So, emotional granularity, putting words to what it is you're experiencing. I hope you put it to use. So have a great week, and I'll see you Sunday.